All right, welcome back to the channel. All right, you can tell that AJ is about to be fighting soon in December, not too far off, and that AJ fans, Matchroom, have a new guy that they're in love with, Alexander Usyk, because they are coming out of the woodworks again with the same old Eddie Hearn propaganda on Twitter, on YouTube channels. It's getting crazy again, and I cannot wait to slap them upside the head with the facts once more. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Subscribers, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. Also, thank you to everybody that is a part of the live stream community. Thank you to everybody that's part of the Patreon community. Please attend the special weekending live stream show we have, OG Boxing Talk, Sundays, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday. All right, so Matchroom Boxing has a chance to regain their heavyweight championship in a fight that's taking place in December in Saudi Arabia with Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. You also have a fight that took place this weekend, last week. I do believe it was last week. It might have been the weekend before that, where Alexander Usyk dusted off, and I mean dusted off, literally dusted off, pulled Chaz Witherspoon out of somebody's closet, because we ain't seen him in dang near a decade, dusting him off and won a fight, his first fight at heavyweight, right? Now, Eddie Hearn is a promoter or co-promoter of Alexander Usyk. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom is the promoter of Anthony Joshua. So ever since these three people, we got Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder, right? Now people I believe that the AJ fans who went away, because they went away and hid under all kind of other different guises of Usyk fans and Dillian White fans and Lord knows who other fans, maybe Josh Taylor fan. If Josh Taylor beats Regis Prograis, they will crawl up underneath the backside of Josh Taylor too. Whatever they got to do, man. But what they really waiting for is Anthony Joshua, praying Anthony Joshua beats Andy Ruiz. But you can hear them coming out of the woodwork, like little cockroaches. You can hear them coming out of the woodwork if you listen carefully enough. So out on Twitter, there's been conversation about Alexander Usyk, and Vasily Lomachenko said that Alexander Usyk would school Deontay Wilder, right? So I'm on Twitter. You know how I am. Like I say, 10 minutes a day on Twitter. This particular one, I might have went a little longer than I wanted to. But this particular guy, who will remain nameless, started repeating the exact same garbage that Eddie Hearn and AJ fans were saying about Deontay Wilder in relationship now to Alexander Usyk. Now, mind you, Alexander Usyk has fought exactly nobody in the heavyweight division. And I'm calling no disrespect to Chaz Witherspoon, but Chaz Witherspoon is nobody. Chaz Witherspoon had 5 days for that fight to fight. And just like Andy Ruiz said, Alexander Usyk did not look good in that fight. Alexander Usyk looked significantly slower than he did at cruiserweight. He didn't look like he did not one time with a punch actually hurt Chaz Witherspoon despite landing punches. He got check hooked and slowed down by respecting the power of Chaz Witherspoon. So there's nothing other than the fact that the WBO, he was the WBO champion, and the WBO before Alexander Usyk even had a heavyweight fight, because of their policies, made him a mandatory for a championship, which is ridiculous. Other than that, he wouldn't even be in running for the heavyweight championship. But yet, you have people making the same comparisons to the same people will compare Holyfield to Alexander Usyk to Holyfield. Now, Holyfield beat James Quick Tillis. He beat Michael Dokes. He beat several other contenders before he ever got a shot at a heavyweight championship. Before he was ever named a mandatory. My understanding is the first time Evander Holyfield was named a mandatory for a heavyweight champion was he was ordered. He had agreed to a fight with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. Evander Holyfield got the fight with Buster Douglas. But Evander Holyfield had a significant body of work at cruiserweight. Dwight Muhammad Qawi, other very well-established, well-known cruiserweights. Alexander Usyk was a unified champion because he went through a tournament. Went through a tournament against the likes of Marius Bradis, who is he? Dorticos, Gassiev, all those type of guys, man. I'm not trying to say they're not good fighters, but come on, man. That is not some Hall of Fame lineup of light heavyweights. Alexander Usyk didn't beat Michael Spinks. It's not like he's beating Michael Spinks and he's beating Dwight Muhammad Qawi and he's beating Evander Holyfield or guys like that. He went through a tournament and unified it. But the same people, now I don't have an issue with what he's doing, but the same people will then start saying about Deontay Wilder, you know the refrain. Who has he fought? Nobody knows him. Who has he fought? Nobody knows him. He has bad technique, right? Now, where did you hear this before? You hear it with Anthony Joshua. The reason why Anthony Joshua was the #1 heavyweight in the world, he was the biggest thing is because he was coming. Why is he coming over to take over the United States? It's because why didn't he have to fight Deontay Wilder? Because who has Deontay Wilder fought? Deontay Wilder's never fought anybody in the top 10. Despite the fact that if you read the WBC rules or you actually go and look and see who he fought, you will see that he fought about, if I might be off on one or number or two, but 11 straight top 10 fighters. But if they knew how boxing actually worked, they would know that would have to be the case because the WBC will not allow a champion to fight somebody that is not a legitimate, that what they consider to be a legitimate contender. Gerald Washington, who replaced Alexander Povetkin, was ranked in the top 10. Szpilka was ranked in the top 10. Bermane Stiverne was the actual champion. Bermane Stiverne, the second time, was the #1 contender. Tyson Fury was ranked in the top 10. Luis Ortiz was ranked in the top 10, not only by the WBC, but he was also at the time, or slightly before that, the mandatory for the WBA title, and had been #1 in the WBA for several years. How is John Molina not a top 10 when he fights Deontay Wilder? But when he fights Anthony Joshua, he's considered one of the great fights that Anthony Joshua had. All this nonsense is, again, it is just an attempt to pitch another European fighter, and the idea that the only fighters that have fought anybody are the fighter that you like. That have fought the fighters that you like. And nobody's complaining about Anthony Joshua knocking out Dominic Breazeale. But when it's Deontay Wilder that fights Dominic Breazeale, then, who's Dominic Breazeale? It's okay when Anthony Joshua beats Eric Molina, but it's not okay when Deontay Wilder knocks out the same guy. You can have an actual champion in Bermane Stiverne. It's okay that Anthony Joshua fights Charles Martin to win his belt. But it's not, but Bermane Stiverne isn't a top 10 fighter, even though he's got a belt. What's the difference between Bermane Stiverne and Charles Martin? What's the difference? What is the difference in level of competition between Joseph Parker and Andy Ruiz? What is the difference? What's the difference between a Dillian White and a Dominic Breazeale? You don't know. People are just saying whatever they want to say in order to discredit this guy, man. And watching this Usyk thing, the funny thing about Usyk to me is that Usyk's not even going to fight Deontay Wilder. There's a matchmaker talked about the fight, and this is in an article by Mike Coppinger in The Athletic. Very good article, you can check it out. There is a matchmaker that after watching, and now a matchmaker is a professional whose job it is to make fights, to match one fighter against another fighter. And they typically have very good eyes on what the outcome of a fight will be. Now, Top Rank has some of the best matchmakers in boxing. Golden Boy has extremely good matchmakers. But matchmakers, that's one of their primary jobs, along with organizing the actual event itself. But their job is to look at two fighters and have a relatively good idea about what's going to happen in that fight. After watching Alexander Usyk fight Chaz Witherspoon, this prominent matchmaker said Deontay Wilder knocks him out badly. And I have a hard time understanding how somebody else can't see that. Do you know who else Deontay Wilder will knock out badly? He will knock out Anthony Joshua badly. That's why Teddy Atlas said that Anthony Joshua's team should go to prison if they make the fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Because Teddy Atlas knows Anthony Joshua is going to get knocked out badly. Just like he got knocked down 4 times by a guy that I think is a lesser competition than Andy Ruiz. But hey, man, if Deontay Wilder had knocked out Andy Ruiz would have been just another bum on the list of Deontay Wilder who hadn't beaten anybody. But that guy that I guarantee you would have been included on Deontay Wilder's bums, non-credible fighters, went on to knock out Anthony Joshua, but Anthony Joshua didn't get knocked out by a bum. Anyway, these guys are crawling out of the woodwork again, man. I'm looking forward to December so we can do it because, I honestly, I've missed you guys. You guys crawled into the woodwork after Anthony Joshua spit his mouthpiece out and the ref did this. But now it seems like you're getting brave, but you're bringing the same old lines so people know who you are. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.